A report funded by the ACLU of Alabama shows that the Alabama Board of Pardons and Paroles is granting pardons at a much lower rate than it was a few years ago. The report, issued today by the Campaign for Smart Justice, examined the number of pardon hearings and the number of pardons granted each year since fiscal year 2018. Alabama's fiscal year starts October 1st. Read the Campaign for Smart Justice report. Decisions on whether to grant pardons, as well as parole, are up to Alabama's 3-member Pardons and Paroles Board. Today's report on pardons follows previous reports by the ACLU's Campaign for Smart Justice criticizing the board for sharply reducing paroles granted. This board is engaged in denying record numbers of incarcerated Alabamians release from prison through parole, and now we see them applying the same categorical denials to citizens seeking a pardon. JaTaune Bosby, executive director of ACLU of Alabama, said in a news release, "It is unconscionable to block the restoration of civil rights to deserving citizens after they have paid their debt to society. Denying pardons prevents people from voting, and in many cases from seeking better employment or housing. We strongly condemn the recent actions by the board and encourage Alabama leaders to address this unfolding crisis." There was no response to a request by AL.com for an interview with a board member or a comment for this story. Cam Ward, director of the Alabama Bureau of Pardons and Paroles, the administrative agency that works with the board, talked to AL.com about the issues. People seeking a pardon from the board apply to the Bureau, which investigates the requests. Ward said applicants who have completed their sentences and paid victim restitution are forwarded to the board for consideration. Ward said he did not want to draw conclusions from the year-to-year comparisons of pardons granted because he said decisions must be case by case. "I do believe, and my philosophy has always been that once you've completed the terms of your parole, you've completed your sentence, and you've paid all your restitution. I'm a big believer that that should be an easy pardon to grant," Ward said. "And I've always felt that way. If you've paid your restitution, you've done everything you're supposed to under your penalty and your crime, then you should get your pardon." Andrew Skier, a Montgomery attorney who has represented clients before the Pardons and Paroles Board since the late 1990s, said he has seen ebbs and flows in the board's decision-making but that recent months fall outside the norm. "We're used to the pendulum swinging a little bit back and forth, but always within a certain range," Skier said. "But what we're seeing now is unlike anything I've ever seen in all that time. There are cases now that would have been absolute no-brainers 2 years ago."